Okay.
Top of the morning to you.
Good morning. Well, a bummer we have to reschedule Christina, but
I know, but that's okay. We will. It'll be fine. Yeah.
I talked to Charissa with Bikini
hmm
Lab.
Yeah.
She can do the Tuesday after Thanksgiving.
Okay. I'm good for whenever. I have
Yeah.
food on a Tuesday pretty much.
And then I'm going to reach out to Meg,
Yeah.
but I just wanted to get Christina rescheduled. And then, because I don't want to like
Okay.
have to I don't want to have to shuffle around
hmm
after we set stuff.
Yeah.
I keep
It's
forgetting what
definitely
month
harder
it is.
being on like the other coast, that makes it a little bit more challenging,
I
but
was actually, before you texted me, I was Googling, I was like, does Nevada participate in daylight savings time? Because not every state does.
I
And
think
so,
it's only Arizona, right? That doesn't, or New Mexico. There's
no
one
clue.
state that doesn't. I think it's Arizona.
Um, but I Googled it because I was like, does that change what time we need to be on there?
hmm
Let's see, we have two figure shows this weekend. We have Texas State Pro, which Battle Up Productions is doing, but I don't think that they have an actual live stream. Like Battle Up
Wow.
doesn't do a live stream, do they? They're like social media. Am I
I don't
wrong?
know. I don't know the answer to that
I
one. I'm
can't
not
find
sure.
anything that says live stream and it says
Well,
media by Battle Up Productions.
mm,
And then, but I'm like, okay, but what does that mean?
yeah, I don't know. Who's the heavy hitters doing that one?
I haven't seen the full list for Texas State, but it's
hmm
got to be out because it's this weekend. But I saw Romania
hmm
Muscle Fest. You got Barbie competing again. That girl that just got second to Dora
Urethane. Yeah.
that was her pro debut. She's competing.
Oh,
Your
yeah. She
girl
looks.
Jennifer is competing again,
Yeah, I
and
did see that.
Denise.
I think that the girl that took second to, I can't pronounce her name, but I think she's definitely a
Apparently,
contender. And Jennifer, I love her.
yeah, I
She's
think it's a
beautiful.
popular name for over there because there's two with the same name. Um, but one's from like Bulgaria and one's from somewhere else. Let's see.
hmm
Here I am like guessing. Yeah, one's from Bulgaria, but the girl that we're talking about is the one from Russia. So, but there's 30 girls in it.
Big lineups this year, every single show.
Yeah, I know. Let's see, I'm on the IFBB page. I have trouble navigating this page.
I do too.
Like I
I
want
feel
to
like it takes me a long
see,
time and I have to like really be concentrating.
yeah, I want to see the competitor lists. I usually have to find it like Google
hmm
competitor list. How was your weekend?
That's my weekend. It's so crazy that it's like Tuesday again already. Like time just goes by so fast. Weekend was very chill. My friend Megan is here visiting, so we got to work out together, which was nice. I never really get to train. I do like training solo for the most part, but it is nice when you have somebody who kind of like knows what they're doing and like you're training with them, you're not training them.
Yeah, I actually don't mind having a training partner if I
hmm
could find one that trained
It's
the
on
way
your
that I did.
level.
Yeah,
Exactly. Yeah.
I just
Like I
don't
love having a
have
training
that.
partner when and I don't mind every now and then training with somebody that's newer, but it's not really a very effective session in that case. So I actually really like training with Corey because he goes like insane, and that's like, it is fun to be like pushed like that
Yeah, it
without
is.
being
It's
like,
nice.
and we just understand each other, like we neither one of us are like into like screaming in the other person's face or like, we know neither one of us needs that nor wants that. So,
No, I will immediately shut down if you start yelling at me. Like I will just stop and look at you and be like, "Don't do that." Like I will straight up stop my set and be like, "Don't do that." It's so distracting to
you're
me,
like, you just put your hand over their mouth, like, shh, just don't
but
do that.
also it's like, no, you're drawing attention to me. Like I don't like
Yeah.
it. Like I don't want people looking over here. Like
Yeah.
the Rise trainers, the gym I used to work at, they do that, and I mean that's their training style. Whatever, do you? But Like if I ever was setting in, they start yelling at me, I'm like, no, no, no,
Yeah.
no. I don't need
Like an
everybody.
encouraging word like here or there at the end of a tough set. Yes, like okay, we're
I'm
great
not
for that,
liking
but
the vibe over
I
here.
don't need you like I don't need you screaming in my face or yelling or any of that. It's like it's just a little weird. So it is important that you kind of have when you if you are going to have a training partner that they get your style,
Yeah,
and
and
match
like,
your energy.
and don't talk to me.
Yeah.
Like we'll communicate with like hand signals, you know. Like, can we set in? Like, are you done?
I'd,
Like,
uh,
we going up? You know, like what are we doing here? Like please don't make me pause my music.
yeah,
So
exactly.
I purchased my chemical peel for my face
Uh,
for
It,
while I'm
it,
out, down and out with my surgery.
just get
Um,
doing it all, just getting it all
yeah.
done at once. I
So
think that's the best way to go,
I'm gonna do it on like a Friday
hmm
and in January. So I'll give myself 2 weeks and then I'll go because I want to be able to like I don't want to be in like so much pain everywhere. My
The
face and
best
my
would have
boobs.
that when people have that done while they're under anesthesia. Like I feel like that's like best case scenario. I
I
hate
know.
getting stuff done to my face like that.
When
I get the worst
it's a
anxiety.
laser
Don't you get
treatment.
anxiety?
No, not really. Um,
Oh,
I was gonna tell you if you want, if I don't know that I'll have it by then, but if I get my HydroPen by the time y'all come down,
just fuck up my face.
we'll
I
microneedle
probably need
stem
it.
cells in your face.
I feel like I just always get like crazy reaction. Like it's not like a bad or adverse reaction. It's just I get like I'm gonna be the one who's gonna have the swelling. I'm gonna get like really red. Like I had a very intense reaction to an IPL. Like she was actually shocked how swollen I got just from the IPL. Like
Yeah,
I was like my eye under on my eye. Like I looked like I had been beat up from an IPL, which is like the babiest of procedures.
right.
Like
Yeah, I
most
am
people
nervous
barely
about
get
the
red.
laser part, but I'm sure they're gonna numb it. And
Hmm
my friend had it done. Granted, she's scrappy as crap, so like she can handle a lot of pain. But like, I'm like, I'm not as tough as you are. She's like, oh, it's not bad. And I'm like, are you sure? Are you sure it's not bad? But
The
like,
main person that does my injections in Myrtle Beach, they just did her and her business partner did
I think
can't think of the name of the laser, but they did like a 7 day progression of what their like each day they documented like what their faces were looking like after it. And she is a beautiful woman, but she looked friggin' scary. I was like, holy shit.
I'll probably honestly
Um,
document a lot of it because I
you
know
have
like
to.
several layers of my face are gonna like slough off.
hmm
Like it's gonna be like scabby and gross. Which is just another reason I'm like, well, can't go anywhere anyway.
Does this the one that leaves like the pen, like you can see the pen marks on like the like little square
Are you talking about what I would do to you?
either one.
No, like what I'm getting is a laser treatment. They're lasering off my skin. What I
Okay.
was
I
gonna
thought they
do
were
to
putting something
you,
on after though.
I'm sure they will.
I think of like the late like the like PRP, you know how they like you can do the laser and then they inject the PRP in your face. That
Yeah,
one.
I've never had this before, but it's their hybrid peel. I gotta like read it.
hmm
And then I did find the figure competitor list for Texas State. Jessica Reyes is doing it.
She is not.
She is.
Oh, I was gonna say I would be shocked if she doesn't. I think she probably holds that title and probably will forever.
Okay.
I was gonna say, Jessica was gonna be there, but I didn't know for sure because I haven't seen it. But
They had a sale in October. I got this for half price. Half price.
oh.
I was like, yeah, add to cart now. Like, I'm not gonna wait then. Like it goes up double
It's
in
not
price.
really gonna be cheaper than that. How?
Um, CO2 laser skin
Yeah,
resurfacing.
the CO2 laser.
Tiny pulses of laser energy to the skin, creating microscopic holes, which then heal. And then there's an erbium peel, and it's another type of laser, and it removes the top layer of skin. So it's combining two different lasers. No sun exposure for 2 weeks, no retinol for 2 weeks, and allow 4 to 7 days of downtime.
You're gonna have like newborn baby skin,
I
like fresh from the womb,
I
like a whole
know.
new
How
face.
excited.
Yeah, the CO2 is like the gold standard. That's what everybody like they suggest you do for the lasers. That
Yeah,
shit is scary as fuck. It's
right.
very scary.
Yeah, I don't
It's
know.
scary to me.
We'll get it done. I'll buy some probably like
I feel like all like nurses and like PAs though, they don't get scared of stuff like that. Like I just feel like it like I don't know, the fear's removed. Like they're like the most brave people when it comes to stuff like that. They're just like, do it. Just do it.
people like don't
Wait, what are you stressing about? You seem stressed.
because people will ask me, "Can you give me the total?" And I'm like, "I literally texted the whole total to you yesterday." Or they'll ask me a question that I clearly just answered and like all
Mm-hmm.
you're telling me is that you didn't read the message I just sent you.
Mm-hmm.
So like, why am I going to message you again when you didn't read the one?
It's a lot of time spent.
Yeah, if they would just read what I sent. Like I sent you
Mm-hmm.
that literally and I answered your question. Um, okay, bro. I'm gonna have to check on you a little later. It's Tuesday, so I'm trying to keep these messages before 9. Um,
Yeah.
okay. Competitor list for figure. Maria Diaz, which we like. Some of these girls I've never heard of. Jessie Corning, Yesenia Fuentes, Nelly Gonzalez competed. She was top 5 in a show or top 6 or 7 in a show recently. She's got a really good shape to her. Gabriella, Danya Jackson, Chumney Kang, Masaki is doing this one. Cynthia Mendez, Corey Morales, Kayla Murphy, Nathalie Nichols, Adela is doing this one. Jessica Reyes is doing this one. Anna Santos did Florida Pro with me. Lisa Vigliotti, Rita Villarreal, who I love.
Mm-hmm.
She was in Atlanta Pro, and then she was a top. She won she won a Masters. She's qualified for the Masters Olympia.
Mm-hmm.
And then Candace Walton.
Yeah.
So interesting. It'd be good. I'll have to see if they've got a um
Oh, she's very muscular. Wow.
which one are you looking at?
Rita.
Oh, she's got a beautiful shape. She's coached
Yeah,
by
beautiful shape.
Tanya Dominique. She's on the podcast with Jessica and
Oh,
Eleni.
okay. Mm-hmm.
Speaking of Eleni, I want to have her on. I'm going to ask her.
Yeah.
I did like a consultation with her online
Beautiful
kind of.
shape.
Like I tagged her in a post because we chat some on Instagram
Mm-hmm.
and like my back pose is so freaking wonky. Like and it has been for months now. Like to the point when I set into it, I have to physically take my right shoulder and rotate it back for it to be even. But
Yeah.
this one, like this trap is super tight. So this one is actually like hyper up. So I have to like push it down, push this one up. Otherwise, I just look really crazy. And so I tagged her, I was like, "Can you fix my shoulders?" And she was like, "Yes, girl." So I told her, I was like, "I will pay you a consultation fee." And so I sent her videos of me doing range of motion and everything.
Uh-huh.
And she texted me like this.
Like what stretches and stuff to do?
Yeah, she sent me several workouts for each shoulder that are different, and like videos of how to do them. But what I loved is, she's talking to me as a layman. Like she
Mm-hmm.
doesn't know me well enough to know what I do, and that I'm very familiar with muscle work and stuff. But she explains it well for someone that doesn't know anything.
Uh-huh.
And she's like, you definitely have some upper trap tightness, but your scalings. And I was like, I know it's my scalings, but the problem is my fingernails, I can't get in there.
Mm-hmm.
But I just love that just from sending her one like 10-second video, she was able to tell me all of this and give me exercises. And so I don't have lacrosse balls in the house because I have 5 dogs. And so I had to order
Mm-hmm.
some lacrosse balls, and I'll have to keep them upstairs. And then I ordered some little hand weights because she wants me doing this like
Mm-hmm.
Superman thing. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm really excited to see how that maybe can help my shoulders grow a little bit because I know my rotator cuffs are super tight.
Yeah.
And I think some subscap issues are probably
Do
keeping
you
my
have like
back
a
from growing.
physiotherapist there that around you that can work on you or?
So I have a neuromuscular therapist that I see
Mm-hmm.
every other week and sometimes weekly, but she's brutal. Um, Like it's not a pleasure massage. Like
Right.
I told her, I was like, I feel like this is a BDSM session. Like I don't know if I want to cry or smoke a cigarette. Like I don't know how to feel after this. Like I don't know if I'm scared or horny. Like
Yeah,
it's
exactly. It's aggressive.
yeah, it's intense. And that then I just started seeing this chiropractor and he's a bodybuilder. And I had been going to this chiropractor for like realistically probably 6 or 7 years, and it took me 6 years to let him crack my neck because even though my
Hmm.
neck is super super tight, I have no cervical curvature in my neck whatsoever. It doesn't exist. My neck is straight, which is why I think people think I'm so tall because my neck is literally like,
Hmm.
but I saw this guy and he just graduated like in December, and but he cracked my neck just like the other guy, very gentle, no high velocity
Hmm.
adjustments. He also does lymphatic drainage, so I'm going to see him once a month, because I have this like golf ball knot that
Hmm.
stays in my neck, and he was able to relieve that a little bit. I don't like the way the light's hitting my face. Oh my God, I got to get a new camera. This thing is so
It's
jank.
just falling down.
Well, it doesn't, it's made to clip on your computer, but it doesn't clip. So I have to literally, I have a desktop that I prop my laptop with the camera against.
So the neuromuscular girl, she hasn't been able to help your shoulder open up.
Um, yeah, I mean, she gets in there, but and she even gets up
Hmm.
under, but like she'll tell you, I have some of the most stubborn muscles.
Hmm.
Like my erectors will literally, I've had massage therapists have to straddle me on the table and my muscles will throw them off. And I'm like, what the heck is going
Oh
on?
my God. So
All
she
those
thinks it's like
deadlifts.
an instability issue, and that's why does she think the exercises will like build her stability?
I think to relieve a lot of tension. Like she's got me
Hmm.
lacrosse balling my traps.
Uh-huh.
And then
Have you tried dry needling?
not for this, no.
Hmm.
Because around here you have to have a prescription. Not like I couldn't write it for
Hmm.
myself, but it's also just like one more thing to do,
Yeah, it is.
you know. And I already do a lot of like self-maintenance stuff.
Yeah.
I have to be
The
a little
dry
bit
needle,
of
I
bouncer.
have found dry needling has like saved my life. But I've had people who have done it, and I think it really depends on the therapist, and like they have to be pretty skilled because I've had some dry needling where I was like, does this person know what the fuck they're doing? Like I think they just learned it the weekend before, versus somebody who really understands.
The
Um,
best dry needling I ha ever had done was after I had my first knee surgery in like 2015. And I saw this girl down in Atlanta and she would dry needle the back of my knee.
oh wow.
Yeah, but it felt great because I could feel my
Yeah.
muscles spasm and release. I
Yeah.
haven't had like I have had dry needling done here, but I have not had that kind of success with it.
Hmm.
So
It literally saved my life. I was going to a guy, and when I first threw my back out, and there was a benchmark physical therapy across from our salon, and we cut his hair, and I was like telling him about my back and how bad it was. He was like, "Let me dry needle you." This was like also like 12 years ago. Before I feel like people are very like more open to like physical therapy now than they were before, and all these
yeah,
different techniques and stuff. Because I was like, "Nah, I need an orthopedic surgeon. I don't need a physical therapist." And he was like, let me just try. And literally within one session, my range of motion was like back to like 90. I could barely bend over before I went to see him. And by that afternoon, I had like 90% of my range of motion restored.
that's
It was
crazy.
actually like a miracle. Yeah. Like I would regularly like bring him donuts and stuff just for no reason because I was so great, like so grateful for him because he really did fix me. And I've had dry needling by other people since then, but nobody really could do it the same way that he has. So that's why I'm like, it really depends on. And then I've had like the electro-stimulated dry needling, you know, where they put that like some people actually pulse the needles in and out, and some people attach electrodes to them.
Yeah, I think that's
And
cool.
I had like a bad reaction to that though, not that long ago, about a year ago. I had a therapist do that on the base of my right at like my sacrum, and I almost passed out. I was like,
Wow.
is it normal? Yeah, I was laying on my stomach, and I was like, all of a sudden didn't hurt or anything like that. I just got like, I guess she said it could like send signals to your brain or whatever. And my body was like just freaked out. My heart started racing and I got like tunnel vision. I was like, I think I might pass out. And she was like, okay, we're done.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she hit something that caused an endorphin
Yeah.
dump on you.
Yeah, exactly. So I was fine, you know, after she took them off and stuff, but. Yeah, I do. I think dry needling is very effective, but I definitely think the stretches are going to be like massive for you. That seems to help, especially with like that shoulder, clavicle area, trap area when you get
Yeah,
impinged.
I probably do need them dry needled to be honest, but I don't know. Like I said, it's just one more thing to
There's just
do.
another thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a matter of doing it because I'm like I spend all this money on massages and chiropractors, and then I have like a cupping kit. I have a Graston kit. Like we can cup y'all when you are down here too, if you want.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
that's like why I finally like reached out to you about the stem cells because he's literally tried he spent thousands and thousands. He's been to therapists, chiropractors, doctors. We have a whole toolkit of stretching devices in this house. Is like little hand weight, all the things, hand weights, lacrosse balls. He has
well,
like
if
this
it
gigantic PVC pipe.
if it ends up working incredible for him, like I'm hoping it will, we'll have him on the podcast to talk about
Yeah.
how quick it set in. Because like with Meg, she was texting me she, like 2 days later, and she was like, "Is this placebo effect or does it work that quick?" And I was like, "It
Yeah.
works that quick."
Anybody I know who's had them has had that same, like it's a pretty quick reaction. And I have not, I hope it works as good because I've talked to probably 5 people that have had them done and they have all said positive things.
Yeah.
So, and it
Well,
can't
like
be like the timing after a surgery to have that time off from the gym too, I think is going to be really beneficial.
yeah. So like my dad, we did his 3 trillion in October of last year. It's been over a year because it was 3 weeks before Marin was born and we just had her first birthday. And so I asked him while I was there, I said, "When are we doing your next set of stem cells?" He's like, "I don't need them."
What was his, or was his
He
issues that
has
he
bad
wanted to?
osteoarthritis in both knees.
Mm-hmm.
He was getting cortisone shots every 2 months. We were doing
Mm-hmm.
BPC and um he just like, he'd be fine, but it's like getting out of a chair. He's just like, ugh. And we
Yeah.
did these and he did 5 air squats for me at the hospital when Marin was
Wow.
born. Like 3 weeks later, he was
Wow.
doing air squats. And he was like, "No, I feel great." I was like, "I love
Wow.
this." So it
Like
really
a
cleaned
miracle.
out,
Yeah.
yeah, it really cleaned his arthritis out. And then we've had people with like multiple sclerosis and like degenerative disc disease that were like barely able to walk.
Mm-hmm.
They're really, really cool. But we always say, I mean, they work for 90% of the people. There's always going to be those random few that it just doesn't do anything for. But
Just like with anyone, just like with anything, but when you are like living in pain, especially as a physique athlete, like that's your livelihood. Like there's nothing worse than living in pain. Like honestly, it just affects everything else. So you'll pretty much do anything to fix it.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not really excited about being down. I know, baby. I know. She doesn't want in my lap. She just wants me to reach down and
Your
pet her.
attention.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she reaches up and taps me. She's like, "Excuse
So
me."
like, hello, here I am.
Mommy.
Hello.
We call her Monkey.
Yeah.
She's a cute little calico.
Like, oh, kitty cat.
Yeah, but the cats are upstairs. The dogs are downstairs because we can't mix the two because Mando, my little brown Frenchie, is a jerk.
They stay separate.
Hmm.
How do you keep them from like you just keep doors in between them or do they
We
don't
have a
try to
gate. We have a
eat?
gate. We gate
Oh.
the stairwell. So like the cats can come down into the guest bedroom and the guest bathroom. And then
Mm-hmm.
the dogs have the living room and then the patio and then outdoor access. They always can go in and out as they please.
My dog's a little traitor right now. Now that my friend's
Listen,
here.
in your podcast with FBB, when your dog put his butt on the
Oh
screen,
my God. I literally I said, yeah, Lily decided to come right up in my lap and put her asshole. Like, I don't know if she wants her own OnlyFans now or like what's going on. It was literally like her full asshole in the screen.
oh my God, it was so funny. I died. I was like, it wasn't that it happened, it was your reaction that got
Because, dude,
cracked
all
me
I
up.
see on the screen
He
is
was
her
like, "Oh my God, her
asshole.
butthole. I'm so sorry." I was like, "Oh, that's peachy. That was
Classic.
fantastic. I loved it. Oh, it made
Here
my
comes
day."
Lily. She hears me talking about her asshole, so she's coming over here now. Yeah, I'm
No,
talking
show
about
it
you.
off, honey.
I know.
You had a good podcast with him though.
Yeah, he's a really good interviewer. I feel like he asked like I actually was thinking about that after I was like he asked like really leading questions. Like it's not
And he sends you
like
the
very
questions
interesting.
beforehand, so you're not like caught off guard either.
I know. I felt like wow, that's really professional. Like I thought about like we should do that, and then I was like that's so much effort. So
Right? I was like, we'll give them a general idea. Like with Teresa, I told her, I was like, we just want to talk about your process for making suits and like you just banter with us.
Like,
Um,
yeah, and she's like that, you know, she's so easy to vibe with. So I feel like she just gets it. She's a girl's girl. So, and she's like, you know, she's a working mama too. And like, when I was talking to him about like he should have her on there, I was like, fuck that. Like, we need to have her on because she's like, I do think it would be really interesting. I wonder if she'll spill some tea. Like, I think it would be really good to get the juicy, the juicy deets. Because I know she's probably worked with some real divas, and I want to know. I know she won't name names, but I want to know stories.
yeah. We might have to turn the recording off for her to do that because
Yeah, we do get a little crazy about our bikinis, though. I
yeah,
mean, because it
she's
is like it is the funnest part of a grueling
it really
process. So,
is. And like with mine, she's very communicative. So you get your suit base ahead of time to try on, and then you send
mhm.
them back to her to stone, which a lot of companies do that, but not everyone does. And like I
Or do
ordered,
I've never had she did a FaceTime fitting with me. Like
mhm.
most I've never had I've worked with four other designers like and that has never happened. So I was actually very impressed with that.
Well, she's cutting me four new practice suits right now. And because I want to live in the four colors I'm debating between for my
Okay,
two
I was just like,
suits.
why are you getting four practice
I know
suits?
it
Like,
sounds
what the hell?
insane, but I can't just look at a color, I got to put it on.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
I'm trying a couple of different top differences. So I just, I was like, do these molded, do these size or whatever. But at the Olympia, when I met her, she's like, can I just measure your boobs? And so she's just like tape measuring,
Yeah.
she's like, I just want to make sure I have the right um measurements. So I'm like, oh no, I love that. Thank you.
Yeah, but your
So,
boobies are going to be different next time. So,
well, they're the same, they'll be the same size, I think. But yes,
oh, okay. Oh yeah, because you're using the same implant.
yeah. But so I've got bright red, hot pink,
I definitely think a red one is going to be great for next
baby
time.
blue,
Bright red.
and electric purple.
Yeah.
What I really like, and it sounds tacky until you see it, is hot pink and red together.
That's the color of my suit.
Is it really?
It's hot pink and red. Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
it. I have
Let me see if I can show you a picture of it. That's so funny.
I
And
have
yeah, she actually was like, that was kind of, I was just going to do hot pink. And she was like,
I just
now
love
at least we're talking about this now. So you know I didn't copy you
but like
because,
when you have like it almost looks when you have pink with red, it almost looks like a highlighter
uh-huh.
color. She has those neon pink stones. But then I
Yeah.
also think about like baby blue and purple.
Like
Yeah,
it's so funny.
that's pretty.
I
That's
know. I was
pretty.
like, I don't know. Because she was like, I'm not going to make it. What did she say? Oh, don't worry. I'm not going to make you look like a peppermint.
I also really like periwinkle.
Oh, yeah. Periwinkle's
I
fun.
have an
But I would
entire
love to see you
album.
in a red moment.
So I've worn red before.
Oh, have you?
Hmm.
Whoa,
Um,
I just saw my FaceTime picture with my check-in with her, and I actually, it's so funny when you look back, you know, and you're like, I'm not lean enough. And I just looked at it, and I'm like, okay, I was pretty lean.
so we were going to talk about first time competitors and their questions. Do you want to do that next week and give them a little bit of time to respond to us? Or do you want to do it now?
Well, we could do, did you get questions?
I got one. So, I mean, we
We
can
could do
wait.
separate it and do like the cost, so like talk a little bit about the cost of competing, and then just do like separate
Or
subject as first time competitors.
let's flip it and answer her question today.
Mhm.
And it's more about, and it's kind of relevant because we're both kind of in this time frame too. But she said one thing that she wished she had known was the mental struggle of gaining weight back after a show. And I want to make a few points here. I literally had this conversation with a female yesterday who um, works with my husband, and she has struggled with anorexia for a really long time, and she's gotten over it. She's eating whatever, but she's thinking about maybe one day doing some kind of like aesthetics competition. And, I was talking to her and I said, because she's worried about weight gain, because she's going to have to build muscle first,
Right,
before she
right,
can
right.
compete. And I told her, I said, there's a few ways that you can go about it. I said, you hire a coach that doesn't necessarily make you step on the scale, and we go by body composition.
Hmm.
I was like, so that you don't get that fixation with your weight. I said, but you also need to set very clear expectations for that season. Like realistically staying within 20 pounds of your stage weight
Hmm.
is, so if you kind of mentally accept we are allowing up to this amount of weight gain, and I said, and it should be very slow and steady. I was like, you are able to wrap your head around it. And I said, and also as someone that did kind of, I've dealt with binge eating and I've dealt with like anorexia nervosa,
Hmm.
where you are afraid to gain weight and you don't want to like, I used to weigh myself every morning, and if my weight was up, I would cry all day. Like I
Yeah.
was a freaking psychopath, and I was like
Yeah.
145 pounds. Like I was not
Yeah.
heavy. And I actually would,
Just to change your mood. I mean, it's
this
literally mental. Yeah.
before I started competing, like I drank a lot because
Mhm.
my first husband worked 12 p.m. to 2 a.m. And so we never saw each other. And so I would just sit around the house and drink. But I got to the point where I drank because if I didn't, my weight would go up because I was dehydrating myself every night. And it was just water weight,
Hmm.
but I didn't know that at the time. So anyway, I just told her, I was like, the goal is not to become food focused. I was like, but bodybuilding actually saved me because
Hmm.
you have so much control
Yeah.
over the way that your body shapes, and the
Hmm.
same thing, kind of getting back to it, like it is very hard mentally to lose your lines when you've been lean because
Hmm.
that's when you see all of your hard work pay off. You're really excited. You look freaky. You're getting all this attention because you look freaky.
Yeah.
And then to slowly
And
like,
just like the general population, like they automatically
mhm,
assume that you're like more fit when you're shredded, and they think that you're actually more muscular when you're like, actually,
yeah,
no, now I'm actually fitter now and more muscular now. But that's just not the way 90% of people look at you. Like they just think, oh, really? Wow. Okay.
yeah. And so you gotta let go of that kind of like attention. And remember that when you enter into this, everything has its season. And although we may not feel like we look as good, 99% of people think we look
Mm.
better when we're healthy looking.
Yeah.
And, we only feel like we're like fat because we were so lean. And it's just again setting those clear expectations. Hey, I'm entering in this off season. I have my weight cap written on my marker, like my
Hmm.
mirror. It says you will not get heavier than this, you know. And also having that relationship with your coach where you can have those open, transparent conversations. Because after like 3 or 4 weeks out of my reverse, I told Johnny, I was like, I feel fat, and he literally was like, LOL.
Exactly. Well, and also, but most coaches are going to respect that you, like they want you to put on size two, but they're also do not want you to get sloppy. And so
Right.
having a good coach is going to be like, Justin will be like, okay, we need to, once you get to a certain point, like, yeah, we need to pull back here a little bit. Let's do a little mini cut just to keep you really insulin sensitive. And he's not, a good coach is going to keep you good gains, like relatively lean. Oh, pretty. It's a bikini.
No, it's a figure.
Oh, it is a figure suit. It
I
looks,
just
it's hard to
liked,
see the back.
well, because it was solid color.
Yeah.
I'm gonna actually send it to you. But one thing I would not do again is have clear stones mixed in with the red.
Stones.
I want it red.
Red.
But
Like bright
Tristan
red.
knows I do not like clear stones on suits at all. Like I don't want any clear
Yeah.
stones on there. You
I
can
can,
have clear
yeah,
connectors,
you can
but
see it better here now. But even like because this made it look a little more on the pink side. It
yeah,
was like a red, red. I think like a very vibrant red.
yeah,
Be like chef's kiss with really blonde hair. I love that.
yeah, I do. I think it'll be pretty. So I'll probably do one that's like baby blue with royal purple accents, and I'll
Hmm.
probably do one that's hot pink and red. But again, I want to live in them for a little bit. And
Hmm.
I'm not competing till 27, so I might change my mind. I've always
Okay.
wanted like an emerald suit, but I'm so like, I
Yes.
just don't think it looks as good on like people with my skin hue.
Yeah. I've always thought about a green suit too, though. I do love green on blonde, though. I think it's really pretty. And it's not, you don't see it much either.
Yeah. But I would
So,
want like a deep
hmm.
emerald blue based green.
Hmm. But going back to that, yeah, so just keep like having a coach. That's another good reason to have a coach is though, because they can help, they know when you're like, when the weight is getting more into the fat, then lean gains. So when it's time to dial you back. And I think that is definitely so true what you said though, like because bodybuilding can, although it does have some negative effects when it comes to relationship with food, it actually does really teach you to be so aware of how food can be more fuel for performance and to create the physique that you want. And I feel like you're actually more in control of your food when you're bodybuilding than not.
It
You're,
takes the emotion away
yeah,
from food.
exactly. Which is what most people need to do, I think. I think like 90% of people would have success if they would stop emotionally eating. That's a huge part of it. So you do actually learn a lot of those good habits. I mean, certainly there's like, if you're already prone, I feel, for some type of eating disorder, I think it could definitely send you down a spiral. Um, but again, it's good to have like good friends that you can talk to about the thing and have
Hmm.
a really good coach that you can, like you said, say, I'm feeling fat, and he can just say, stop it. Right?
Right. So that's, I think, was a really good one to bring up just because it is really tough, but tempering expectations, clear communication, being prepared for it, and again, taking it slow, follow your reverse diet, because you will be in a worse mental state with it if you don't do what you're supposed to do. You're going to beat
Hmm.
yourself up, you're going to have terrible guilt, and that is its own battle. So, you know, like post show dieting is the hardest thing in the world because you don't have that goal, you know. So like another thing I did was I do really, really well when I know I have a plan. Do I know for
Hmm.
sure that I'm doing this show in 2027? No. But if I tell myself that's the plan,
Hmm.
then I can say, okay, I'm doing this because I want to qualify for the 27 Olympia.
Yeah, like beginning and ends, like that's, I think, really important too. And one thing that, both of us are extremely consistent with is, and I think a lot of very successful people are, is to continue to take your check-in pictures, even if you're not working with a coach or you're pausing, like, because your mind is going to tell you one thing, but the pictures don't lie. So like when that tan starts to fade and the lines start to fade, you're automatically like, oh my God, I'm getting fat. And then you look at a picture and you're like, okay, maybe I'm not getting that fat. So I
Like
think
me
that
with the
continuing
wedding,
to,
that dress, I
yeah,
was like, oh, and
yeah,
then I looked at pictures and I was like, oh, it's fine.
yeah, you look so good.
Um,
Yeah, so I would say definitely like continue with your check-in pictures, and being really consistent with that. I think some people probably typically fall off with that, especially if they're eating a little bit more than they are supposed to be, and they're like, oh, I don't want to get in that bikini because the bikini does, start to get a little bit tighter and boobs
Another
start to
thing
fill
too
out a
that
little
I
bit
felt
more.
like was really helpful this time around was especially with like the post-show blue type thing. I had just quit my job at the hospital, and so I very much had the new role with Elevis to focus on. So I think
Hmm.
kind of setting yourself up with something that is also a challenge that you can really focus on right after, whether that's like, hey, we're going to take a trip in 6 months, let me start planning it, or something that you can hyper focus on for a little bit of time so that you're not hyper focused on your physique. Because at the end of the day, like,
That's such good advice. Like
you
any
know,
another hobby, you know what I mean? Even if it's not like,
mhm,
for us, I think definitely it's like a professional switch to a professional focus, which I think is the case for a lot of bodybuilders because that sort of takes a back seat a little bit in prep. But yeah, totally agree. Well, it could be anything, like something you wanted to do, like put a little more focus on that.
and I think that that can be really helpful. Like, I like to scrapbook, so I was like, oh, I'm going to catch up on, I get to scrapbook all these shows and stuff like that. And then Um, like I made a lot of social plans for afters just so I had like something to look forward to. So I do think that that's really, really helpful in that time space.
One thing I've
So
seen too, oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say for the listeners, like if y'all have questions, if you've never competed before, or if you're prepping for your first show, if you need a packing list for backstage, like type in the comments, or DM us and we'll talk about it next week.
Hmm. Oh yeah, for sure. Um, what was I gonna say? I don't know. My dementia's kicked in. Oh,
Sorry,
oopsie. That's okay.
I
No,
distracted you.
no, it's okay. Oh, I was gonna say for me, like I actually had to change up my training schedule a little bit and give
Mhm.
myself like a little bit of grace because along with like the gaining weight, that time frame of like there's an expectation like, okay, well now that I'm have more food, like I want to be instantly stronger and I want to be like having PRs in the gym. And for me, especially being a little bit older, like you got to give your body some grace. Like your body's been
Mhm.
through some hell and it needs some time for recovery. And but just as like when you're a high achieving person in life, there's a constant pressure to be doing better and doing more. And like that's I've kind of now giving myself like some grace, like, okay, if I can only train 3 times this week, and then not that long ago, I took a full week off. And just who you are as a person is going to tell you that that's wrong, even though physically, 100% that's what your body needs.
Hmm.
And I've seen a few other like pro athletes, like Autumn Cleveland had just did a post about like I don't know, she's taking
She
like
did like
13
6 or
weeks off.
7 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it was like quite an extensive time and just did that. And then another wellness pro that I saw that had been off. I think it's more common than what we talk about because it's not really like sexy as a pro to say like, oh, I haven't been in the gym in a month. But I think um,
It's
there's
real though. It's
yeah,
real.
it's
And
so real,
your body does need a break. And like I struggled with
mentally and physically.
yeah. So, ooh, I have my first prep client.
Oh,
Um, I'm so
good.
excited. I did tell her
Squirrel.
I was like, you got to do an off season with me first. Well, I'm tying
Hmm.
into this.
Yeah.
Um, and she came to me in a spot where her love for this has is not there right now. And she's still training, but she's just she was feeling really poorly, pulled out of her prep too, and just she's been very open about it on her Instagram, but I've been doing her health side of things for several years now. And so she was like, "You already know my body so well." She was like, "I'd love to work with you." I was like, "Okay, you're gonna be my first one, so you get half price." I was like,
Nice.
you got to do an off season with me first. But
Hmm.
point being was because of her lackluster right now, I took her from a 5-day split to a 4-day split. I think too, a little bit more recovery for her, especially because we are kind of rebounding out of this, like getting her healthy again,
Hmm.
but giving her a little bit more time to feel human right now, I think is important. And so I
Yeah.
think she'll do really well with a 4-day split. So it's not always about like, oh, I got to constantly push, push, push. We're not robots.
I saw
And
Rhea has a three. Did you see she's trains 3 days a week?
well,
Rhea,
she
Miss
needed to
Figure
downsize.
Olympia.
She needed to
Yeah.
downsize. And she did a lot.
Hmm.
Like she's beautifully balanced. I think she's gonna be hard to beat for a while,
Yep.
which I love for her because
I
she's so
agree.
sweet. But
Yeah.
one day I'll be up there.
But yeah, I think there's definitely like giving yourself a little bit of grace after a prep or, like and just kind of really not feeling that guilt. Like,
Right.
or even like the guilt about like having another hobby besides bodybuilding. Like it's completely okay if you want to transition to put a little bit that, like you said, there's seasons of life and like there are going to be times, you know, especially as we get into the cost of bodybuilding, you're going to understand that your focus does have to be professionally.
Yeah.
Um, if you're going to afford this lifestyle, you're going to need to prioritize, because there is no balance in bodybuilding. There's just, and not, and especially not when you want to be competitive. Like
No.
there's going to be a time when it needs to get your full focus. And then there's going to be a time when you have to really shift your priority to whether it be your family, like, maybe you're need to put more focus on your like relationships, and that's okay. It really is okay.
Yeah. It's just that balance, maintaining that balance is going to keep that longevity. And again, like you said, giving yourself that grace to understand that you are human and perfection isn't necessarily that you are 100% at everything all the time. You can be perfect with still allowing that balance and longevity and honestly just pure mental health in it because that's where you see people that they'll get their pro card and never compete or they do like one pro show and then they stop because they just burn themselves out or they move
Hmm.
on and that's okay too
Hmm.
you know because it's not
Yep.
for everybody.
Hmm. Well, and also, as far as like gaining weight and off seasons, like you, well, I was talking to my friend Meg that's here, is like, you have to live in this body year round. Like, this is like, you have to be ultimately like okay with it. And if you are, getting with a coach and they want to, say you need this much size, like, you have to be like, okay, I- and 9 months of the year or even a year, if your off seasons are longer, like, am I going to constantly like be hating my physique? Like, I'm not like in a place right now where I want to get like a lot more muscular. Like, and I think that that's another thing a lot of figure competitor, not just figure, but all women athletes will have to deal with. Like, do you want to, what's, well, I know another figure pro who's talked a lot, what she does the fat brownie shop. She's a nurse. What's her name?
Like the
Um,
real donut queen.
yeah, 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 yeah.
I don't
I
know her
can't think of her.
name.
I can't think of her real first name. I'm so sorry.
I only know people's Instagram handles because I
We
saw.
are Instagram friends, and I have talked with her a little bit about this, so I feel bad. I cannot. It's not her. It's my dementia that makes me not remember her name. But anyway, she's talked a lot about not wanting to be comfortable in her body year round, and like kind of struggling with, how far to push PEDs and like how far to push the muscularity, and like that's something that you have to consider and be
Stephanie
okay. And
Roth.
just yes, thank you so much. I knew I should have known that.
I just
Uh,
looked it up.
thank you. Um, but yeah, like I'm coming to terms with it now because I feel like it's part of my maturity and like getting a little bit older. But I wish somebody younger had been like, you don't just because like this is a standard and this is the way it's going, like you can be okay in your body and like you don't necessarily have to like try to get huge.
Mm-mm. And remembering that figure, and this is what I told my little girlfriend. She's doing her first show ever this weekend at Night of
hmm
Champions. I'm so excited. I'm going to talk to the expediters and be like, listen, what kind of donation do y'all need to add figure in women's physique here?
Oh
Because
wow.
they're a fitness pro show. Because she was a fitness pro. But anyway, she's doing her
So
first
they have
show.
fitness, but they don't have figure or women's physique.
Yeah, they're just a fitness pro and then an
Oh,
NPC show.
it's oh, okay. Well, oh, interesting. Does a fitness pro sponsor it, or so how did they end up with fitness pro and nothing
Yeah,
else?
she's the expediter's a fitness pro. Becca
Oh,
Sizemore.
gotcha.
Um, so her and Alan, like, because Morph was a sponsor last year, so Morph's a sponsor again this year. And like I'm handing out trophies, but I'm going, also going for Shelby. But she was she's like, I'm just not big enough. And I was like, you have to remember, figure is not a size competition. It's a shape competition. And
Mm-hmm.
as much as we want to, some of us have to put on more size because our waists aren't waspy,
Right.
so you have to create that illusion by getting bigger. But, it's just, again, with these inconsistencies in the judging that's driving me nuts because you got
Mm-hmm.
the Olympia stage literally told like Anna Boren, she was fourth call out. She's like, you need to come in smaller. And then she placed like top two at the very next show, and her feedback there was be bigger. Well, you literally just told me to get smaller. And obviously the
Mm-hmm.
Olympia stage is the bigger deal, but you got to get there.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
Exactly.
almost like you have to
Yeah.
be bigger going into your Olympia qualifier and then bring it down for
Yeah,
the Olympia.
exactly. Yeah. Like diet even harder.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
at the NPC level, it's definitely not a size contest. If anything, it's more of a conditioning contest in size or shape at that level. Um, and you will probably have to be way leaner for any national level show than you do at a pro show
Mm-hmm.
with figure,
Mm-hmm.
which is
Yeah. Well, I
interesting.
think they were pretty consistent with that. Like you said, though, they weren't rewarding like the most conditioned this year. So,
Hmm. Yeah, we're definitely seeing a shift. They're definitely trying to keep the divisions a little bit more clear, I think. But
and also you can bodybuild without competing, like that's another thing. Like you maybe, competing is a great goal to have for a lot of people, and maybe some people have that, but you can build an awesome physique without ever having stepped on a stage. And
mhm,
that's realistic for a lot of people. So, maybe that's the way some people need to look at it if they're worried, like, okay, let's take the show aspect out of it. Let's just worry about building a physique you're proud of. And then if that comes down the road, then great.
yeah.
If not, great too, you know?
Yeah, you don't have to have a show to build discipline. So.
Mm-mm,
And I actually have
absolutely
quite a
not.
few clients that, I mean, they maintain like 12% body fat and they never compete. They just want to be healthy.
Yeah. And let's face it, like your shape's gonna look better with more muscle on it, no matter who you are. If you're not getting on a stage ever, like that's fine too. But like I think most women in general can just truly benefit from putting on more lean muscle.
Well, and I told them, I'm like, muscle is the best fat burner. It's better than any
Hmm.
pill I can put you on.
Yeah. And if you do put them on pills, you're gonna look a lot better when there's muscle underneath. So absolutely.
All right. Anything else for today?
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. What you got going for this week? You busy week?
Yeah, just work though. Well,
That's good. It's
Thursday
busy.
we're leaving for Chattanooga. And then
Hmm.
Friday I'm helping set up the
Oh, for the
stage and
show.
stuff. And then
Hmm.
Saturday's the stage. And then Sunday come home. And then I think I'm finally home.
You do have some busy weekends, dang.
I know. I'm tired of not being home. This is not usual for me, but it's because I just did a long prep and I pushed everything social till after.
Hmm.
So it was like literally like I don't have a free weekend until December 13th.
Yeah.
But some of them are just like, oh, I'm having dinner, but I have to
Hmm.
like schedule that cheat meal. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So it's just
Yeah.
like, that's my cheat meal.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Um,
my thing to look forward to. That's the day I need to get dressed up.
yeah.
But
So
yeah, I'll look good. Wash my hair.
what about, yeah, I'm gonna do that on Thursday probably. I'm gonna
We
try
are
out this
going to have a
iron.
yummy dinner tonight. I'm very excited because we don't really like, whenever time for a cheat meal, we end up going to Culver's instead of
Mhm.
something like, because we're like lazy and both of us just want something easy and cheap. So,
Yeah.
but because Meg's here, we're going to go to a fancy place that I've been wanting to go to in Charleston, but I don't really have any
Nice.
friends in Charleston. So, um, I, as soon as she was coming, I'm like, I know where we're going. I want
What's it
pasta.
called?
It's called Indaco.
I've heard of
In
it. I've heard of it
I
because
have actually been there before, and it is so
it's
good.
like it's
It's
Italian.
Italian, but it's like modern, fancy, but not it, but it's like very not fancy, like stuffy vibes, like fancy, like very like great date night, even with a gal pal.
Yeah, I
So,
think we looked at it, but we didn't realize that everywhere needed reservations when we
hmm.
went, and we were only there for one night. So I forget where we ended up going.
Yeah, this I actually tried to make a reservation for this weekend, and they didn't have any. It's probably the one of the most popular. Like it's in the top five of like places you
Yeah.
want to go in
But
downtown Charleston for
we
sure.
don't mind sitting at a bar and eating. Like we'll straight
Hmm.
up sit at the bar. So if you need
Yeah.
reservations, we'll just go sit at the bar.
Hmm.
I mean, we get to sit closer together, you get better service.
The best thing about going with a bodybuilding friend is like she doesn't care if we eat dinner at 4:30. And I'm like, I want to order everything and just like take a few bites, which that drives Corey crazy. So I'm
I'm the
like,
same
great.
way. I want to taste all the things. I just don't want to finish all the things.
That's when I told her I was getting like I told her to be prepared because I'm like I'm getting everything, and she was like, "Oh my God, who are you?" She's like, "You don't even eat that much," and I was like, "No, no, no, I just want to taste everything. Like, let's not get it twisted. We're just gonna order everything to taste it."
Yeah, we'll have like a ton of leftovers because I won't eat them.
Hmm.
I'll
Exactly.
just eat that night. And then Zach's like, I'm just your dumpster, aren't I? And I'm like, yes,
Yeah,
thanks for
that
that.
drives Corey absolutely crazy. He hates that. He's like, he doesn't understand that at all. He's like, just get what you want. Just get one thing.
But I want it all. So I
I
am
know.
getting what I want.
Exactly.
I'm getting
Exactly.
exactly what I want, which is bites of everything.
See, good to know. We can go out to eat together. That's why
Yeah.
I'm gonna get like 12 donuts and I'm gonna take a bite of each. Like
Yeah.
maybe
I do
two
the
if
same
it's a
thing.
good one.
So
I was
when
thinking of
y'all
you though, because
come,
I saw two reels of the Honore donuts this morning, and both of them were bad reviews.
were so good. They were so good.
Did you have
That
the
was just
s'mores? They both said the s'mores sucked.
the s'mores was disappointing. I
Okay.
will say that
That's
because
one of the ones they
it's
reviewed.
not stuffed with anything.
Yeah.
It's
They
just
said it
a
was dry.
chocolate covered donut with a. They must have gotten there at the wrong time though, because
Hmm.
I ate one of their chocolate covered, just plain dough donuts, and when I tell you, I looked at some. I said, "That is the softest donut I've ever eaten in my life."
You had to add that. You had to look at some.
I had to look. I had to. This is the softest donut. There's my
You're
imagination
like,
right
look at
here.
me. Look at me. I'm
Yeah,
telling you, this is the softest
I was like, I
donut.
cannot believe how tasty that was.
Did you ever have parlor, by the way?
No, it's on my list
Oh my
though.
God. I'm gonna have to bring them to you when we
Yeah,
come. Yes.
and then I'll have to bring you Danny's donuts, which are here.
I'll get you
They're
some
really
fresh
good.
ones. Okay,
Yeah.
awesome.
So we'll
And we
have our
could,
cheat meal Saturday night when y'all
yeah, we'll
come.
have them all cut up.
Okay. So we'll figure out a restaurant we all want to go to nearby because we're not going to drive
Okay.
that far, and we'll go.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah.
All right,
All right.
honey.
Well, I'm going to stop the recording because I
Okay.
have to call a patient.
Okay, have a fun day.
Thanks. Have a
Talk
good one.
soon.
Bye,
Okay,
guys.
bye. Bye.